There are very few things that actually make me mad, right? And this is fucking one of them, right? Honestly, student guilty of sex assault on girl who was 6 years old will not be punished. I just what the fuck can you say about this shit? Like, hold on, right? A dental student found guilty of sexually assaulting a 6-year-old girl will face no punishment after being granted an absolute discharge. Christopher Daniel, 18, denied carrying out numerous assaults on the girl while he was aged 15 to 17 and she was between 6 and 8. He was granted a discharge by Sheriff Gerard Sinclair after being found guilty at Dumbarton Sheriff Court at the end of a 3-day trial. It means that Daniel from Glasgow will not be placed on the sex offenders register, and the guilty verdict was not recorded as a conviction. The victim's family were not allowed to see a report sent by the sheriff to the Crown Office explaining his wholly exceptional decision. Something I feel that they might have a little bit of a right to see. Yeah, I realise that we completely fucked you over. I do have reasons for it, but you're not allowed to see them. What the fuck? An STV investigation has found they believe that Daniel's middle-class background, strong educational attainment and career prospects helped to convince the sheriff to grant the most lenient possible disposal. The victim's mother told STV News, "I have been left to guess the reason why, and when I have voiced my opinion to professionals of my theory, they've said that is exactly what it will be. How is that justice? How does this teach anything to anybody that's committing this crime? I'd love to sit down with the sheriff and say, can you please explain, am I missing something? I would get more if I went to a supermarket and stole something," which is fucking true. Which is fucking true. This is, like, I'm sorry. You owe this family a fucking explanation. You owe them an explanation as to the fact that this guy molested their daughter and you just let him go. And it wasn't even just one occasion, it was several occasions. Right, yeah, okay, I get the guy was young himself, stupid, maybe a bit dim at that age, but still, like, I would have understood maybe some leniency based on that, but the fact is, the boy's still done it. The boy needs to get fucking punished. And you just let him go, and you won't even explain to the family why? Hold on. After the trial last month, the Crown Office informed the family that it intended to contest the decision, but it abandoned the appeal on January the 4th. The family plans to ask James Wolfe QC, the Lord Advocate, for answers and for the sentencing decision to be reviewed. I would just like to point out, the Crown have fought far, far harder to keep my punishment in place. I just want to point that out there. The Crown have fought so much harder to make sure I stay convicted than to fucking get a harsher sentence for this guy. So the Crown have fought much, much harder to keep me, to keep me as a convicted criminal over a joke than it did to get a harsher sentence for a pedo. The mother says that if it goes there and falls through, we've got a massive problem in Scotland. We should all be fearful if it goes to appeal, doesn't get sorted, and Daniel doesn't get put on the sex offenders register. He's not even on the register. He's not even on the fucking register. The family called police after their daughter told them that Daniel had touched her inappropriately on a number of occasions. She gave a lengthy video interview to officers, but her parents were later told that the recording had failed. Well done. Well done, police. Fucking boomers not knowing how to work a fucking video camera. How can you fuck up? Like, just hit the record button, make sure there's a memory card in, make sure there's space in the card, hit record. I mean, there was a vital piece of fucking evidence, so, like, you would think there would be stringent checks in place to make sure that such things don't fail. She gave evidence over 2 hours during the trial via video link and was cross-examined for another 2 hours by Daniel's lawyer. What a fantastic thing to put an 8-year-old through. I mean, see if you could have just had the video, she wouldn't have had to go through the horror of doing that again, in a court. If you just had the video, but instead, The girl not only had to do it twice, but the second time she had to do it with her accuser there. I realised it was via video link to a child. That doesn't fucking matter. That doesn't fucking matter. She had to go through that twice. And the second occasion, I would bet, was a hell of a lot worse than the first one. Fuck me. Her mother questioned whether the court ordeal, which she said had left her daughter distressed, that's probably an understatement, had been worth it. What good has it done? She said. That's fucking fair point. What good did it do? Future employers of Daniel may not be aware of his offences, raising questions about child protection. Yeah, he's a dental student. Dentists, you know, very often they work with kids. Very often they work with anaesthetic. Nothing to worry about there. The facts of this case are deeply troubling and deeply affecting, Liam Kerr, the Scottish Conservative Justice spokesman, said. It's certainly a surprising sentence. It would help in this case and in many others if there was a greater understanding about why the decisions are taken. Yes, they owe that family a fucking explanation. Yeah, we realise that this guy completely scarred your daughter for life and we let him get away with it scot-free. He's not got a sentence. He's not going to be on the sex offenders register. In fact, it's not even going to be recorded as a conviction. No, we're not explaining to you why we did that. That is insane. There's no justification for that. I am sorry. I am sorry, court. There is no justification that can be given for not at the very least, giving this family an explanation. A Crown Office spokesman said, following full and careful consideration to all the facts and circumstances, Crown Counsel instructed that there should be no appeal against sentence in this case. The reasons for this have been explained to the family. We would be happy to offer the family a meeting to answer any further questions. Well, are you actually going to answer them? Because they asked for an explanation in the first place and you pretty much told them to fuck off. Hold on, right. Police Scotland said that the video problem had no detrimental impact on the victim of the case. Did it not? But did it not, though? The actual interview where she's very first explaining everything that happened to her to the cops. You know, so basically, if someone confessed to a crime in the room and the camera wasn't recording and you just had the word, you know, those, whatever officers were interviewing her are not going to remember everything that she said for those 2 hours. They're not going to remember everything that she said, so having a video reference would have been extremely handy to record everything that the kid said. Right, so those 2 officers didn't remember it. They didn't remember all of that. And it would have been handy to have a video reference for the trial. Like, for example, if a killer confesses to a crime and the camera's not recording, I'm pretty sure that his lawyer would be able to use that as a big boon to try and get him a not guilty verdict. But in this case, it apparently didn't affect the case. So, let's just go through this again. Some boy molests a 6-year-old several times. Gets arrested, gets charged, all that good stuff, right? But then he goes to court, and they believe it's because of his middle-class background and career prospects, and he a good boy, he go to church every Sunday, and because of that, he gets no sentence whatsoever, doesn't even get recorded as a conviction. He's not even going to get put on the sex offenders register, and the family gets no explanation whatsoever. And when the family pursued it with the Crown to get a harsher sentence, the Crown dropped its push. Whereas, with me, I told a joke. I was dragged through fucking court. Apparently, he got a 3-day trial, by the way. My trial went on for 2 years. Right? And I get my name dragged through the paper and all this kind of stuff. I've got a conviction recorded on my record. I've got an £800 fine to pay, which I'm probably going to go to jail for because I've refused to pay it. And the Crown fought so much harder to keep my conviction in place than it did to get a pedo a harsher sentence. Well, get a pedo any kind of sentence, because the guy pretty much got off with it scot-free. So basically, if I molested a 6-year-old girl, I wouldn't have got as harsh a punishment or any punishment. But, you know, I had to go and tell a joke. So fuck me. Jokes are getting punished more harshly than molesting kids. What the fuck, man? But there was people talking about it on Twitter as well. Shit, I didn't mean to do that. I've accidentally showed the guy's face. What am I like? What am I like? That was an accident. That was an accident. I apologise. I didn't mean that. I've accidentally showed the guy's face. That's a shame. This was just where I originally got the article from. Christopher Daniel, 18, was found guilty of sexually assaulting a 6-year-old girl. Exceptional circumstances thought to be the Glasgow dentist's middle-class background, strong educational attainment and career prospects mean he will not go to jail. So there you go. There you go. Molested a 6-year-old girl, got off completely scot-free. Not even on the sex offenders register. Of course, tell a joke, and your ass is grass. I'm so sorry I showed his picture. That was an accident. I didn't mean to do that. My bad.